Hi again. Just like humans, greyhounds come with a whole range of different personalities, and some of them are very bouncy and confident, whilst others can be quite shy, especially around people that they don't know very well. So it does help when you get your new hound to be aware of some of the signs that they might give to tell you that they're feeling a little bit worried, and to help you to recognize when they're pleased, when they're feeling nervous, and how to approach and greet your hound politely so that you can soon become the best of friends. Dogs have different ideas of what's good manners to us, and we want to learn to say hello politely on their terms, recognizing what their body language is telling us. So one thing you can look out for is a change in the rate at which your greyhound blinks. If they start to blink more quickly, this is a sign that they might be a little bit nervous. Also yawning. Of course, like humans, dogs are going to yawn when they're tired, but if your greyhound yawns for no apparent reason, then this is their way of politely saying they're a bit nervous, a little bit worried. You may also notice that they turn their head away from you, as if they're trying to avoid meeting your gaze. Now, for dogs, and greyhounds in particular, direct eye contact can be quite threatening, and so the greyhound might turn their head away to avoid meeting your eye, and this is them actually being very polite. If they turn their head away but then turn their eyes back towards you, you might see more of the white in the eye, and we call this whale eye. And again, it's another sign that the dog's feeling a little bit nervous. Another sign to look for is the dog licking their lips for no particular reason. This is one you quite often see in photographs because it tends to look cute, but unfortunately what it actually means is the dog was probably not too comfortable about that photograph being taken, or the circumstances it found itself in at the time. So with a dog that's a little bit nervous, or a dog that you don't know very well, it's going to be best to avoid approaching them from directly in front and looking into their eyes, and it's going to also be best not to reach your hand out over their head to give them a pat. And they don't always like patting anyway, they'd rather be stroked rather than actively patted, but that hand coming over the head can be a little bit threatening. They might also find being given a hug quite threatening, because that can feel restrictive. It makes them feel that they can't get away, and particularly if the dog doesn't know you very well, that might not be the most comfortable experience for them. Also avoid coming up on the dog from behind without them realizing you're there. If someone creeps up behind you and then says boo, the chances are you might be a bit startled, and the same could apply for your dog. And I have come across situations where there have been problems when people have walked up behind a nervous dog and they haven't been aware of their presence. So let's have a look at some ways that the dogs do like to interact, ways to behave around your dog that will help you make them your next best friend. So if we have a greyhound that we don't know very well, or they're a little bit nervous, the best way to approach them is more from the side rather than the front, and to be lower down. Walking straight up in front of them, making direct eye contact and looming over them will be construed as threatening. So come to the side, avoid looking them directly in the eye, and perhaps even crouch down by their shoulder. Even better, let the dog come to you rather than approaching them yourself. Now, we often talk about patting a dog or petting a dog, but in actual fact they much prefer to be stroked rather than patted. In fact, patting them on their head could be seen as mildly aversive. You could try it on yourself. It's not necessarily the nicest experience. Rather, try stroking their shoulder or their neck gently. You might move on to scritching them behind the ears or scritching them under their chin. These are usually things that are pretty popular with the greyhound and likely to make you their next best friend. So I hope that's given you some useful tips on how to recognise when your hound is feeling a little bit worried, how to make friends with them, how to interact with them on their own terms in a way that they find reassuring. That's all for today. We'll be back again soon. Bye for now.